what can you tell us that excites you about the character that we're about to hear about?
She is absolutely brand new to me. I don't play any video games. I don't know anything about any character. Apparently, she's come back to life, right? Because it's an old character.
Right, rebooted in the universe.
Rebooted. I love just doing like video games with all this action because I feel like I can make use of my martial arts without actually pulling a muscle.
And on the design level, what can we expect to see sort of that fans will be blown away by?
Well, I think the brand new feature, the cameo feature that's in the game, has been really well thought out. It's providing a lot of opportunities for players. And from what I understand from the stress test, that people are discovering ways of playing with the characters that our designers didn't even anticipate. And for them, that's a sign of like, okay, people are taking the tools, using them, and finding creative ways to utilize them and to have fun with and have a game. It's really cool to see how
So first, more about the game. I just want to know about your thoughts when you found out or planned for it to be a reboot.
I'm sorry?
I was asking about your thoughts about as you were planning to make it a reboot.
Oh, yeah. Well, we painted ourselves into a corner at the end of MK11, where we now battle the creator of everything, right? Where do you go from there? So it made sense to start over at that point. And then it was pretty clear that in doing the reboot, what we wanted to see happen was that we weren't going to be telling the exact same stories that we've been telling for the last 30 years. So it's not like we were going to see MK9 version 2. So that was the impetus, like, okay, let's tell a fresh story, and then in that, let's play with things. Let's play with people's expectations. We're going to be onboarding people into the lore for the first time again, so this gives us a chance to clean things up, use ideas that we maybe thought about and discarded to bring them back, and it was trying to be really intentional about that, and sort of taking as the premise, this is Liu Kang's universe that he's starting, so what would Liu Kang do? How would he think about the Mortal Kombat universe?
And then for Kelly, it kind of goes into the question about the reboot. What kind of preparation did you make as you guys go?
I don't think I had any advance notice about who I was playing because I would have just assumed walking into the room that I was going to be Devora again. And so it was kind of a surprise for me, but a nice one. I'm glad to be able to still be in this family, but playing another character.
So this whole series, Mortal Kombat, has been such an epic, gameplay for everybody.
I hear.
And how do you feel about starting it over, and how do you think the fans are going to react with everything?
Well, the fans are going to react how they're going to react, for sure. I mean, certainly there are people that are going to love the changes that we've made. Some of them are going to hate the changes that we've made. It's just the nature of the beast. We're trying to, tell the best story we can and create the best game that we can, and hope that everybody has fun with it. There's a ton of excitement for the game right now, and we're hoping to build on that as the game is released, that people's high expectations are met or exceeded, and that they're going to have a lot of fun with it.
And then Kelly, are you hoping that once this is released, you're going to have a whole bunch of people cosplaying as you in the future?
That would be awesome because I don't think I've seen a single person cosplaying Devora. Really?
Oh yeah, I'll show it to you. Yeah,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question would be, when you're writing out the story for a new chapter like this, how do you balance all of these characters from the beginning up to all these new ones, as well as introducing new characters? It's got to be tough to find exactly the right balance, and how do you do that?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely hard. I mean, you have 24 characters in the game. Not all of them get the same amount of screen time, and so you're trying to make things pop as much as possible. So what we try to do is not only look at just the experience of the story, but also through the other storytelling that's in the game, whether it's through the intro dialogues that we have, where all the characters are talking to one another, or the ladder endings that are part of our single player experience traditionally, and really trying to sort of expand and build there. We weren't introducing, I can't say that. I'm gonna stop right there. Sorry. Yeah. So, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a real challenge because the roster gets decided, not just by myself, but then you end up polling people in the studio. Who do you want to see come back? What are the fans? What do they want to see come back? And then it's sort of putting
good guy, bad guy scale where you're like, okay, we have this guy who's a bad guy, and then this guy a good guy. You know, like you have.
Oh
to
yeah,
even
they're
them
definitely
out.
ranked. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're definitely ranked. And when we're writing the story, like you want to make sure that you're setting up the ladder of fights.
Right.
That the most powerful people are at the end, the biggest heavies are at the end, and sort of making them.
Anyway, that was my question to him.
No,
That
that's a
doesn't
good.
count.
That's a good one. Mine should be pretty simple for you. I was just simply given a choice, carte blanche. Villain asks for a hero.
Villain, absolutely.
And what is it about them that makes them so much more appealing than the hero?
It's so much more fun to be a bad person. You know, maybe you just get it out of your system so that you can be a good person in real life. But I just feel like you can just have so much more fun with it. You know, like just be rude and and mean, and you know, like it's just more fun to play the bullies. It's not in real life because that's not what we want. But you know, I've always liked playing the bad girl more than the good girl.
Thank you.
Bad girls have more fun. Oh, are you in there? Sorry.
Yeah.
Process of going back to like the previous games. Did you know that you were with the series and given away it ended? How far before that, if you did know you guys the idea?
Oh, sure. I mean, we had a pretty strong inkling that it was going to, as we finished up with where MK11 ended, it was going to end up in a reboot territory. The question became like, okay, how far are we going to push the reboot? Like, how much change did Ed want to see? Because honestly, one of Ed's great geniuses is his ability to balance the novel and the familiar, finding that sweet spot so that fans don't feel left behind, but they also feel excited about what's coming. And so we had a lot of discussions about, okay, is this going to be take this as far as say the Battlestar Galactica reboot, or is it going to be more like the Kelvin timeline reboot from Star Trek? So we sort of ended up in this middle ground of keeping some things familiar, changing some things radically, and hoping for the best that that the majority of people at the end of the day like what they're seeing and have fun.
What was your favorite part about taking this new role? Is it different from the previous?
I think there's a really big difference between Devora and this new character, Li Mei. I get to have more of a normal sort of cadence to my speaking, and there's probably a lot less alteration of my voice.
Oh yeah.
But,
String Kelly.
Yeah, String Kelly. But like I said, I don't know anything about these worlds. I've never played the game. I never even saw my character Devora until many, many years later when somebody was playing it for me so I could see what my character was like. Because I have absolutely no clue. So I actually, as an actor, I have to rely really heavily on Dominic to give me direction when we're doing stuff, because he has to tell me the situation, the characters, the relationships to the characters. That's the fun thing about this game, is there really is a great storyline, and there's a lot of relationships and a lot of character development in each person, in each one. So it makes it so much more fun and interesting for actors. Thanks.
I'm sorry, how much is it inspired by the first Mortal Kombat? Oh, I mean, it's very heavily inspired by it, of course, right? We're standing on a foundation of 30 years of existing lore. The fans are, obviously incredibly enamored with the original games, so we want to make sure that we're respecting it, right? But at the same time, from that foundation, we're finding new directions to take characters in, trying to provide, details and levels of immersion with the story that simply wasn't possible. But back in the original games, where you just have a little bio card or ending card. I mean, it is amazing, and it's a testament to the original work that people became so enamored with the Mortal Kombat narrative from just these little chunks of text. I mean, that's incredible, right? And so now we're 30 years on, we're really moving beyond that, digging into that, so we can take that and then continue to expand it.
What's no sense
a different world.
And Terry, you already said that you really play these games?
I've never got into any kind of. I do so many voices for so many games, and I'm even doing like mocap for like video games now. But I don't get to. It's not that I don't get to. I just don't make the time to actually play them. So I'm always amazed that I get cast in any of them because I have no idea of what's going on in any of these worlds. And then when I tell my friends, "Oh yeah, I'm doing this game," but it was under this other name, you know, like. But then this was the character and this other, and they're like, "Mortal Kombat? You did Mortal Kombat?" And I was like, "Yes." But I think it was called like blah blah blah, you know, because they always have to do it under a different name. And sometimes I'll go to like a Comic-Con and some kid will pass me a DVD to sign, and I'd be like, "I don't think I'm in that," and he'll have to explain and show it to me on my IMDb that this is the character that I played. Yeah. I'm like, okay, $40, thank you.
My question was going to be if you have any game design, what's your favorite video game? Not Mortal Kombat.
I play Scrabble a lot. I don't know, does that count?
Sudoku?
Sudoku. I do a lot of that. I like puzzles. Yeah. The other stuff gives me too much anxiety. You know, I'm already kind of a nervous person as it is, and I've tried playing video games, and it's like it's too much. Like I need more calm in my life. You know, more meditation as opposed to like crazy spikes of energy. Yeah.
I have a question here. How does the history of the finish him, ending, come into your writing and in your story building going forward? Because that does have its own position in pop culture history, especially.
It does. You know, I mean, I've seen so many variants on that, whether it's the finish him meme or whatever. It's amazing. You know, like that particular. Obviously, we know there's going to be a certain level of violence in the story because it's an MK story. There has to be a certain level of stakes in any of our given stories. So that's part of it. And so just sort of keeping the weight of it. Like there's always going to be weight behind a Mortal Kombat story, and that's sort of what we're getting to do. I mean, when we tell a story with 24 characters in it, we're always doing the Avengers, right? We're never doing one of these like a smaller, contemplative, single hero story. It's always massive. So it's big.
My first question kind of piggybacks on that. Is there ever a fatality that you thought of that it worked out? It's like one of your favorites that's on the cutting room floor?
Oh man. Certainly. With my job, I am actually not involved with fatality development. I see them a lot of the times as fans see them for the first time. They show them the trailers, like, oh wow, that's really cool. I mean, I know there are definitely ideas where people are like, oh, if there was a line, it in fact crossed it, and it's been not done before. Because there has to be with a fatality, there has to be a certain amount of camp along with the violence, so that it's just not simply disturbing. And so the team that puts that together really works hard at it. I can't speak to ones that have been left. Because anything that was left on the floor needs to stay on the floor.
What's your all-time favorite matchup? 30 years of war. What would be your all-time favorite matchup?
Oh man, it's hard to say. I mean, there's so many good. I think you kind of have to go with the classic Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. It's so personal. But Sonya versus Kano is big, or even Jax versus Kano is also big. Devorah has become quite the nemesis since she got to off. Her character got to off.
I do?
Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat actually Devorah kills Melina, and the Melina fans were very, very upset. Devorah killed Melina.
I forgot about that.
Scorpion in 11. They're like, what the heck? Why does Devorah get to kill everyone?
Here's the thing. I go into the booth and I do all my dialogue, and he has to explain everything to me. And then the game will come out like 2 years later, and I'll forgot that I had even done it. Right, much less like all the dialogue that we had to go through. Yeah.
Dominic, so Mortal Kombat X and 11, you introduced
about who still has not yet been announced for the game, obviously. But I think it's fair to say that, even if a character that was in the previous games does not appear in this one, that doesn't mean they're gone forever, right? We're just, this Mortal Kombat 1 story and this game is it's the beginning, right?
That's why it's called 1.
Exactly. So it's definitely not the end. So I think people that are fans of characters that have been introduced in the last 3 games, even if they don't show up here, it does not mean that they're finished.
Kelly, how much of yourself did you put to the new ones that you have?
To tell you the truth, I don't even know. I don't remember even doing this. Yeah. I do so many voiceover games, animation series, films, between all of the on-camera stuff that I do as well, that and anytime I go into the booth, it's always under a pseudonym, and so I often don't remember what I'm doing what I've done when I left, and especially 2 years later, I won't remember anything at all.
Yeah, it's usually at most.
And also, I have menopause brain. Let's just be clear. Yeah. Hello. See, thank you. Somebody who can relate.
We're gonna grab you guys. Actually,